It's minus 45 degrees outside, the kind of cold that freezes your eyelashes together, the kind of cold that can kill you in minutes. And right in the middle of this frozen nightmare, someone builds a house out of snow, the very same stuff that's trying to kill them. Then they crawl inside, and somehow they get warm. This makes absolutely no sense, right? How can something made of frozen water, the definition of cold, actually keep a human being warm? Here's the crazy part. The inside of that igloo can reach 16 degrees Celsius. That's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. When it's negative 45 outside, that's a 60-degree difference. So what's going on here? Is this magic? Physics breaking down? Actually, it's one of the most brilliant pieces of engineering humans have ever invented. And the Inuit figured it out thousands of years ago without a single physics textbook. Let me ask you something weird. Does your blanket create heat? Think about it. When you crawl under a blanket on a cold night, you feel warmer. But the blanket itself isn't warm, it's just sitting there at room temperature. So where does the warmth come from? You. Your body is a 98.6-degree furnace. You're constantly radiating heat. About 100 watts of it actually, like a light bulb that never turns off. The blanket doesn't create heat, it traps your heat. It stops your body's warmth from escaping into the cold room. An igloo works exactly the same way. The snow isn't warming you up, you are warming you up. The igloo is just a giant blanket made of snow, trapping all that precious body heat inside instead of letting it disappear into the Arctic wind. But wait, why would snow be a good insulator? It's frozen, it's cold, and here's where it gets really interesting. Here's a fact that will change how you think about snow forever. Snow is 95% air. That's not a typo. 95%. When you look at snow, you're mostly looking at air. The ice crystals are just the skeleton holding all that air in place, like a foam mattress for nature. And air is one of the worst heat conductors on the planet. Think about it this way. If you stuck your hand in cold water, you'd feel the cold immediately. But stick your hand in cold air, same temperature, and it takes much longer to feel it. That's because water conducts heat away from your body 25 times faster than air does. So when the Inuit build an igloo out of compressed snow, they're actually building walls made of 95% trapped air, millions of tiny air pockets, all working together to slow down the escape of heat. It's like wrapping yourself in 1,000 tiny down jackets. And here's the key. Solid ice is actually a terrible insulator. If you built a house out of pure ice, you'd freeze. But snow is a miracle material. Cold on the surface, but designed by nature to trap warmth inside. But the Inuit didn't stop at just using snow. They engineered the entire structure to fight the cold. First, the shape. An igloo isn't a box, it's a dome. Specifically, a shape called a catenary curve. This isn't just for looks. This curved shape distributes weight evenly, so the snow doesn't collapse inward, and it minimizes the surface area exposed to cold wind while maximizing the volume of warm air inside. Second, the tiered floor. The inside of an igloo isn't flat, it has levels. The sleeping area is raised highest. The work area is in the middle, and the lowest point? That's called the cold sink. Here's why this matters. Warm air rises, cold air sinks. By sleeping on the highest platform, you're literally sleeping in the warmest pocket of air. The cold air settles down into the sunken entrance, away from your body. Third, that weird entrance tunnel. Notice how the door to an igloo is small, low, and has at least one right angle. That's not random. It stops the brutal Arctic wind from blowing straight inside. The cold, dense air gets trapped in the tunnel, while the lighter, warm air stays up in the living space. No heater needed, just physics. So what temperatures are we actually talking about? Outside the igloo, negative 45 degrees Celsius, negative 49 Fahrenheit. Cold enough that exposed skin gets frostbite in under 5 minutes. Inside the igloo, with nothing but body heat, the air near the snow walls might be around 1 degree Celsius. Cold, sure, but the air near your body? Close to body temperature. And if you add a small seal oil lamp, not even a real fire, just a tiny flame, the sleeping platform can hit 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. That's 50 to 68 Fahrenheit. That's t-shirt weather. In the middle of the Arctic, in a house made of snow. In fact, a well-built igloo can maintain an average temperature of 16 degrees Celsius, heated by nothing but the bodies inside it. Your blanket wishes it could work that well. Here's what makes this truly remarkable. The Inuit developed this technology thousands of years ago. No thermometers, no physics classes, no engineering degrees, just trial and error, observation, survival. They figured out that snow contains trapped air, that dome shapes resist collapse, that cold air sinks and warm air rises, that entrances should bend to block wind. All of modern building science, insulation, thermal boundaries, air sealing, it's all right there in the igloo. Humans figured it out while wearing caribou furs and carving snow with bone knives. So the next time you're shivering under a blanket and wondering why you can't get warm, remember, somewhere in the Arctic, someone built a house out of the very thing that's supposed to make them cold. And they're warmer than you. That's the igloo, nature's greatest paradox, and humanity's most elegant solution to the coldest problem on Earth. If you learned something new today, hit subscribe. And next time you see snow, remember, you're looking at 95% trapped air and one of the best insulators nature ever created.